Hi, we're with the PGG Wrightson technical team. I'm Jessica Dunbar and I'm the soil scientist for the South Island.
And I'm Stephanie Sloan, North Island soil scientist.
They let me out of the south because I was cold, and we are in
the mighty Manawatu. Today we are travelling around a few farms to address a couple of issues that we get as we move out of winter into spring.
So we're going to be covering quite a few different topics, and we'll be travelling to several different cool locations. So let's go. Today I'm going to be talking to you about sulphur and why it's important for your farming system. So sulphur will be fairly scarce this time of year because across the country we have had a lot of wet weather and rain. Sulphur is a highly soluble nutrient and so is easily leached out of the system in free draining soils and when we have a high rainfall. Sulphur is available in the soil in two forms. One of those is your organic sulphur or your elemental sulphur. This is a slowly available form of sulphur. The other form of sulphur is the sulphate sulphur. This is a readily available plant form of sulphur and it's also the highly soluble form which is highly leachable. The organic sulphur in your soil makes up about 95% of the soil pool. This form of sulphur is broken down and converted into the sulphate sulphur by soil microbes, which can be affected by soil temperature and soil moisture. This process is called mineralisation. A general rule of thumb for applying sulphur to your farm is that 30 units are required when you come out of a rainy winter. However, soil testing will really help you out there to determine what types of sulphur and how much sulphur is sitting in your soil pool ready for your plants to take up. One thing to note as well when you're applying sulphur is that if you are on free draining soils which are sedimentary or pumice soils, you might need more or little and often compared to heavier soils like ash where you might not need as much and it doesn't leach or drain as quickly from the system.
If you have any questions or queries, please feel free to contact your local technical field rep or call up the PGG Wrightson store.
And if this is the first tech tip video that you are watching or you've watched several with us before, we hope you've enjoyed them and that you've learnt something, and make sure you go and check out the other videos and we'll see you again soon.